saying yesterday that he's kind of relying on you and Adem as the veterans of the team to sort of be
I ain't know that yet.
on this squad, maybe. Like, how do you sort of try to lead this group and sort of be that sort of presence?
I probably say not trying to do too much, still trying to do what I can do best, and then if I feel like I can help with one of the things we're doing, I'll put my input in. But outside of that, I just try to do what I can do best. I don't try to overdo it.
Is it weird if you say, "Oh, I'm not a vet yet"? Is it weird to feel a little more experienced in this type of environment?
Yeah, because this time last year I was a rookie, so it is crazy. But as the vet said, I'm a rookie until the first game of the season. So.
What stood out to you most about like BJ and Johni?
What'd you say?
What stood out to you about BJ and Johni so far?
I played against both of those guys. I played against Broome in college, played against VJ in high school. So, they're really like outgoing people. Broome is more like me, quiet a little bit. But I feel like once we get him more comfortable, I feel like he'll be more open. But I feel pretty good about those guys. They're going to come in and try to help our team and help us in summer league.
And then I guess like for you as the veteran in this case, like, do you have any like kind of advice for them, going through this process and everything?
Just to stay positive. That's the biggest thing. I always tell you that just to stay positive. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs. There's going to be times where, they might not play, I might not play, but, we got to stay level-headed and stay positive.
I know you talked about playing against BJ in high school, and a lot of videos of that when you played against him.
He didn't dunk on me.
No, he didn't.
No.
But what did you, outside from that, what do you remember from that?
We got smoked. That's what I remember.
Really?
Yeah, we lost. But we just had one City of Palms, though. So, yeah, we was coming off of winning that and then came back a day later and played them.
Did you know at that particular point that, like, this guy was going to be...
I didn't know who he was until after that game. Yeah, he's nice. But kudos to him, all the hard work he put into to get to this point,
Mm-hmm. And for you, like, you guys agreed to a new contract for multi-year. Just talk about you went from being undrafted, two-way guy, guaranteed for the rest of the season to now having a multi-year deal.
I feel like it just shows a lot of hard work I put in, going undrafted, I didn't let it determine the rest of my basketball life. So, I just worked hard and just, did what I was able to do, and now I got a contract. So.
I know it's early, but have you talked to any of the undrafted rookies here about what you experienced as an undrafted rookie and what you were able to do to get to the position you're in now?
No, I haven't yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Just for you, is it just the comfortability now because you've been here now, you know the ropes, the facility, all of that? Is there just a comfort level of being here and being able to just kind of show up and do the work and that's it?
Yeah, just more like being comfortable. I feel like that's the biggest thing for me.
What your experience at Summer League throughout that process last year, what are you taking from that you feel like is going to help you this year?
Not to overthink, really. Like this time last year, I went into trying to prove a point, and I guess I didn't feel like I was playing at my best. So I just going in there and just playing free and just doing what I can do.
As far as specific areas of your game, are there any ones that you're going to be focusing on in Summer League?
Just trying to be an all-around player. Try to one of my goals is to try to get 2 offensive rebounds a game. I do that, but that's more opportunity for our team. Being a vocal guy, playing defense and all that stuff. Just trying to be the leader on the court so everybody else will follow after me.
Just how would you describe the first couple days of practice?
It's been really good. It's been intense. It's been competitive. It's been fun. Getting to know the guys, kind of being able to be on the court with them, get extra shots with them. I think we're kind of building that chemistry while competing at the same time. So that's kind of good.
We saw you getting up shots with Adem just now. What have you made of getting to know him? How has that sort of relationship grown so far?
First, he's a great teammate. He talks. He leads by example. He's a willing worker. He's going to get the extra work in. Super athletic, super bouncy. He's twitchy. It's going to be really fun to play with him.
I guess for you, is there anything specific you want to maybe achieve or work on in this summer league? Anything you want to pinpoint? Things like that?
I just want to get better each and every day. Continue to grind, step by step, getting close to my teammates, earning the guys' trust, and ultimately go out there and win.
I guess what are your kind of early impressions of DJ? Just being able to get on the court with him, up close and personal? What do you have impressions of?
I have the same thing. You know, he's a great player. Obviously, you know, he gets downhill whenever he wants to, and he's scary when he gets down there. You know, because he's so athletic. You know, he's a playmaker. He makes the guys around him better as well. And on defensive end, he's going to pick you up and cause havoc.
Yeah, I was going to ask, where does that athleticism most show up on the floor?
A lot of people may think like him at the rim, which is true. You know, he's very explosive. I think him being so athletic, I think, and he's a smart player, so it allows him to bother defenders and get underneath them.
What would you say is the biggest misconception about your game?
I don't know. I mean, they say a lot of stuff. You know, my job is to keep proving it wrong.
How would you describe this coaching staff and like getting to know them and working with them?
I say they're very personal. You know, they're fun to be around. You know, there's not like a so much strictness. You know, they come up to you, talk to you, make sure you're doing all right, that type of thing. So I think it's gonna be a fun year. You know, getting to know the coaching staff, continue to do that, even the strength and conditioning. You know, dietitian, the trainers. I think everybody around has been good, and I think we're all going to look into one goal.
You know, obviously a very long college season, and you were dealing with a couple bumps and bruises. Just how are you feeling physically right now as you're about to start something?
I mean, I'm feeling really good. You know, I'm in a 6th year. You know, I'm in the NBA my first week, so I can't complain. You know, everything's been going to my favor. So I mean, no complaints.
About that week, I mean, the first week, you get drafted, right? The next day, I think you went to train here.
No, I did,
You got here, and the next thing you know, you come in the building, it's like a celebration. The next thing you know, I see y'all at the Rocky Steps, I see y'all eating cheesesteak. I mean, what's this whole experience been for you since you've been drafted?
I mean, it's been very good. You know, they kind of had to take me to the staples of Philly. You know, going down the streets and trying to feed cheesesteaks. You know, my cheesesteak is always like Charlie's or something like that. But they say that ain't real cheesesteak. So, but obviously, I had a couple spots. They're better. I would say they're really good. Seeing the steps, just kind of seeing the cultural things in Philly was good. Having a celebration, you know, walking into the arena was very good. I signed my contract yesterday. That was amazing. You know, I got to practice yesterday for the first time. That was very good. You know, so I think overall my experience in Philly has been really good so far.
We hit on the stuff we wanted to yesterday, like our transition roles, playing fast, getting the ball up quick, kicking the ball ahead, and that type of thing. So double down on that stuff and a few new wrinkles offensively and defensively, but still mostly to just like the basic stuff.
What stood out to you thus far about Broome?
So he's got like a really good feel, especially when he gets that ball in the short wall area. He's good, like bottom side screener. He screens the bottom side of guys, creates a good pocket, and can get that little pocket pass going downhill. And he's a good decision maker out of that. He's good, got good touch out of that. He can put his shoulder into guys, and like that's something like I've seen with him a little bit so far.
I guess piggybacking off that a little bit, where's kind of the biggest area where you're looking for development or improvement?
I think right now the biggest area is just like getting to know the stuff we're trying to do. Like we're putting in stuff that's new for everybody, new for him. He's played in the college system, and that's his main priority too, right? Picking up the stuff we're doing conceptually as a team, and I think he's done a great job.
I know you talked about it a little bit yesterday. What do you kind of think of like VJ with the ball in his hands and being able to kind of maybe run offense a little bit?
I think like in general, like he's a smart player. He sees the floor well, and he's like, you guys all know, he's a threat to punch a gap at any time. So defenses have to respect that. I think he can be a really good like hit guys, chase, stuff like that. But I think like we're keeping it pretty simple for everybody right now. We want early attacks. We want all that, and he's done a tremendous job of that so far.
Alex Reese and Jalen Butrafino, two guys that got here late last year.
Yeah.
What have you seen from them here? How do you feel like they've grown since they got here?
I think they've been awesome so far. They've been around the last couple of weeks before this, working out, and both came in great shape, like really working hard, and they're really prepared and excited for this summer league. And I think it's big for them, and I think they're excited and ready to play. And they've been great these first 2 days.
this summer, do you guys look at him as just a center, or do you look at him as also playing some power forward for you guys this summer?
I think again, it's like you'll probably get a little both naturally just with lineups. But I mean, in terms of overall plan, like it's probably not a question for me. But like in terms of now, we'll probably see a little bit of each.
For guys like Justin and Adam, you mentioned yesterday kind of trying to implement some of the stuff that even was talked about in exit interviews and like sort of, hey, these are the off-season priorities. Like, what are some sort of things for maybe each of those guys that like you're wanting to sort of continue to push forward?
So without going into too much detail, it's like a lot of like the intangible role player, like little stuff off the ball, like rebounding stuff, and obviously the defensive stuff. I mean, Justin, I hope he can take a good step defensively this summer league, and just how he did in the season, and just kind of that role player type, similar to the role of play in the season.